Surely there is a vein for the silver, and a place for gold, where they refine it. Iron is taken out of the earth, and brass is melted out of the stone. He sets an end to darkness, and perfectly searches out the stones of darkness and the shadow of death. He breaks open a shaft at the side of the stranger. They are forgotten by the foot that passes by. They hang far away from men. They swing to and fro. As for the earth, out of it comes bread, and under it is turned up, as it were, fire. The stones of it are the place of sapphires, and it has the dust of gold. There is a path which no bird knows, and which the vulture's eye has not seen. The lion's whelps have not walked on it, nor has the fierce lion passed by it. He puts forth his hand upon the flinty rocks. He overturns the mountains by the roots. He cuts out rivers among the rocks, and his eyes see every precious thing. He holds back the floods from overflowing, and the hidden things he brings to light. But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man does not know the price of it, neither is it found in the land of the living. The depth says, "It is not in me." The sea says, "It is not in me." It cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price of it. It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, with the precious onyx or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for vessels of fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or of pearls, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not equal it, neither shall it be valued with pure gold. Where then does wisdom come from? And where is the place of understanding? It is hid from the eyes of all living, hidden from the birds of the air. The place of ruin and death, say, we have heard the fame of it with our ears. God understands the way of it, and he knows the place of it. For he looks to the end of the earth, and sees under all the heavens, making a weight for the winds, and measuring out the waters by measure. When he made a decree for the rain, and a way for the lightning to thunder, then did he see it and declare it. He prepared it, yea, searched it out. And he said to man, Behold, the fear of the Lord is wisdom, and to depart from evil, that is understanding. Chapter 29, we're reading from the book of Job on Family Bible Reading Fellowship. Job chapter 29. Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when God used to watch over me, when his candle shone upon my head, when I walked through darkness by his light, as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tent, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were around me, when I washed my steps with butter, and the rock poured out rivers of oil for me, when I went out to the gate through the city, and when I prepared my seat in the street. The young men saw me and hid themselves, and the aged arose and stood up. The princes held back from talking, and laid their hands upon their mouth. The nobles held their peace, and their tongue did cling to the roof of their mouth. When the ear heard it, then it blessed me, and when the eye saw me, it gave witness to me. Because I delivered the poor who cried, and the fatherless, and him who had none to help him. The blessing of him who was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My judgment was like a robe and a diadem. I was eyes to the blind. I was feet to the lame. I was a father to the poor. And the cause which I did not know I searched out. And I broke the jaws of the wicked, and plucked the spoil out of his teeth. Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and I shall multiply my days like the sand. My root was spread out by the waters, and the dew lay all night upon my branch. My glory was fresh in me, and my bow was renewed in my hand. Men gave ear unto me, and waited, and kept silent at my counsel. After my words they never spoke again. And after my speech dropped upon them, and they waited for me like the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the latter rain, I smiled kindly upon those who did not believe it, and they could not cast down the light of my face. I chose out of their way and sat chief and lived like a king in the army, as one who comforts the mourners. Chapter 30. But now those that are younger than I make fun of me, whose fathers I would have refused to set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, the strength of their hands, in what way should it profit me? Men in whom ripe age must perish. They are dried up with want and famine, they gnaw the ground in the gloom of waste and ruin. They pluck mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their food. They were driven forth from amongst men. They cried after them as after a thief. They must dwell in the gloom of the valley, in holes of the earth and in the rocks. They bray amongst the bushes, they are gathered together under the nettles. They are children of fools, yea, sons of nameless men. They have been whipped out of the land. And now I am their song, yea, I am their byword. They despise me, they flee far from me, and do not wait to spit in my face, because he has untied my cord and afflicted me. They have also let loose the bridle before me. Upon my right hand rise the youths, and they push away my feet, and they raise up against me in the ways of their ruin. They have broken down my path, they gain my trouble. They have no helper. As though a wide break they came upon me. With a crash they rolled themselves upon me. Fears have turned upon me, and they pursue my soul like the wind. And my good passes away like a cloud. And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me. My bones are pierced in me in the night, and the gnawing pain takes no rest. By the great force of my disease my clothing is changed. It binds me about like the collar of my coat. He has cast me into the mire, and I have become like dust and ashes. I cry before thee, and thou didst not hear me. I stand up, and thou dost not look upon me. Thou hast become cruel unto me. With thy strong hand thou dost oppose thyself to me. Thou liftest up me into the wind. Thou dost cause me to rise upon it, and thou dost melt me. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all the living. However, he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his ruin. Did I not weep for him who was in trouble? Was not my soul grieved for the poor? When I looked for gold, then evil came. When I waited for light, darkness came. My bowels boiled and did not rest. The days of trouble came upon me. I went blackened without the sun. I stood up. I cried in the congregation. I am a brother to the jackals and a companion of ostriches. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. Therefore my harp has turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of those who weep.